Here I am. There I am. Welcome, 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 everyone. Good to see you all. All right. Tell me where you're from. I type into the block. Tell me where you're from so I know all the different places I'm speaking to. But I got two things I want to talk about today. One of them is very, very near and dear to my heart. And the other one has to do, well, both of them are something that I've been speaking about a lot lately. And the first one has to do with the current state of multifamily business. And I want people to understand that within all distress, there lies opportunity. I'm going to talk about two different ways. Hey, Raymond, I'm going to talk about two different ways of finding the opportunity in this market. Okay. So first off, let me tell you a story about there was a conference out in Beverly Hills, and a bunch of real estate executives were talking about the multifamily borrowers and that are now starting to see trouble. And Barry Sternlicht, who happens to be the head honcho of Starwood Capital Group, one of the biggest hoteliers in the country, he says that multifamily now is in the crosshairs. He's projecting a huge distress cycle thanks to pressures facing regional banks. And this is where it's going to happen first, folks, is on the regional side. He said, this is really a balance sheet crisis. What that means is that it's not on the income and expense statement crisis. The income and expenses are, well, they're tight and, not great, but people are paying their bills. The problem lies in the fact that there's capitalization issues which appear on the balance sheet. He says the Fed is very aware that it has a teetering regional banking system that loads about $700 billion that are real estate loans in a low interest rate environment. And the small borrowers are going to have a hard time refinancing. No kidding. We've seen this coming for a long time. But for him to specifically say that this is a regional banking system issue is spot on. And we've been calling that for a while. And that's where the opportunities lie in this marketplace. He went on to say that we've gotten calls. How can you help? Can you take over banks' assets? They're trying to arrange recapitalizations before they fail. And, when you hear the term recaps, the bank is trying to recap. What they're trying to do is raise money, issuing stock or what have you, to shore up the bank. Now, after the collapse of First Republic Bank, Signature Bank, and Silicon Valley Bank, many regional banks have pulled back from the lending on real estate because it's impacting their balance sheets. They're not like the GSEs and the Fannie and the Freddies. They have a bank examiner who comes in to check to make sure that their balance sheet looks fine, and real estate's killing them. So they're pulling back from that and not lending on real estate, which means that for all these notes coming due, there isn't enough capital in the world to solve the problem of these owners trying to refinance their properties. The absence of these lenders presents opportunities for other players in the market. Now, that is, they went on to talk about specific lenders like as I mentioned before, the First Republic and Signature, but also New York Community Bank. I mean, they don't exist. These banks don't exist anymore for new lending. And they used to make up about 30 to 40% of the market in the New York area. And then that means that multifamily has become a huge pain point for the New York Community Bank. In the first quarter, the bank reported a $800 million loss in defaulted loans, up 400% from the same period last year. And much of that pain stems from rent stabilized apartment complexes. And I reported to you back a week or so ago how the New York up in Albany, they started passing new laws to protect and to try to extend the rent stabilization laws in New York. And many landlords came back and said, too little, too late. We're better off just closing down the apartments. And that's what's going to happen. Now, who's going to provide that? Who's going to provide that type of lending? He went on to say that they're doing it right now at 50 to 60% loan to value. 50 to 60% loan to value. And this is where this world might be heading when you're looking at these types of numbers. Um, his bank Fortress is getting low teen returns for taking recapitalized multifamily risk in one of the world's greatest cities. So they're actually making money while all of this is going on. So how does the small guy deal with this? How does the small guy look at this, and how can he take advantage of these types of opportunities? Okay, I'm going to give you the name of a place where you can go and start to find this information. The name of it is Bauer Financial. And for those of you in the know, Bauer is like the ice skate. Bauer, Bauer, all vowels, BAUER financial.com. That is a site where you can go on and get the names of all the regional banks. You can get the phone numbers for them, and then you'll get a star code. It'll tell you what quality that particular bank is. And that star code is dynamic. It'll change as the banks does well or doesn't do well. So go in that Bauer Financial, go to your state, go to your region, click on the banks, see who's doing well, see who's not doing so well. Start calling these banks. These are your regional banks. These are the banks that are going to be having the trouble. What you need to do is start building a relationship with these banks saying, hey, I'm in the multifamily business. I'm looking for multifamily property. I can close quickly. Come on, what can you do for me? Let's keep talking. So that's the first step, that you can take advantage of this that's going on and see if you can buy some multifamily property at pennies on the dollar. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I told you I was going to tell you 2 ways that you can take advantage of what's going on in the marketplace. The way to take advantage, like all investors that we are, is buying these properties for pennies on the dollar. You can go talk to the regional banks if you want to stay strictly in the multifamily space, or you can get involved in what I've been doing, my partner David Peters and I, and that's looking for hotel conversions. What better way to find cash flowing apartments than taking distressed assets and using what we call adaptive reuse and putting a new life back into these properties that are essentially, depending on which ones you buy, they are essentially multifamily properties that you're buying at pennies on the dollar. For instance, the deal that we're closing on in 30 days, we're buying it for $42,000. We're putting in $16,000. And when we go to refinance a property after we've converted to multifamily, we're expecting the per unit valuation to be about $120,000. Pennies on the dollar. 50% LTV, it can be done, folks. So let me talk to you about this particular article one of my clients sent me. I really like it. It's in globestreet.com. Hotel conversions reach all-time high. And this is the one thing I like about this one, is that typically you hear about office conversions. Blah, don't do it. Hotel conversions, much different story. Do it, but you have to do it right. You have to know what is a good property and what is not a good property. Now, conversion of old buildings into apartments is now a real thing. Hotels, offices, factories, warehouses, all are fair game if they meet the necessary conditions. And in 2023, 12,713 new apartments emerged into new life from dormant structures, and 151,000 new ones are in the process of conversion. That's up 24% from the 122,000 projected in 2022. Now, here's the thing, guys. 12,000 new apartment units that didn't exist before 2023. And those were all created not out of new construction, but finding existing assets and adaptively reusing them. And so it takes, what better? Nobody's doing this. The opportunities out there, take advantage of it. Now, while office conversions have been the darlings of future adaptive reuse projects, it was hotel conversions that stole the show in 2023. Repurposed hotels gave rise to 4,556 new apartment units, an all-time high, and up 38% from the year before. And Class B hotels accounted for 60% of these conversions. I'm not talking bad hotels. The property that we're buying is in a Class A area. That's how good it is. All right. Class A represented about 21% of the conversions, and Class C were 18%. You don't have to buy junk. You buy nice properties. We're about to put a second one under contract. We actually have about 3 letters of intent out right now. The opportunities are so prevalent that we turn away far more than we even make an offer on. Why bother? Some of these, we only have a certain amount of time to take advantage of this, and we're going full bore to convert 100,000 apartment units. The pandemic, which caused a flight to quality, placed a financial burden on outdated hotels that not only lost customers, but also faced very high debt service costs. However, they still had assets that developers seized on. Because hotels already come equipped with essential infrastructures like the plumbing and the electrical systems, these adaptive reuse projects offer a faster and often more cost-effective method to create housing units, particularly in dense urban areas where space for new construction is scarce or pricey. Folks, I can tell you from personal experience, everything that writer wrote in that paragraph is spot on. Absolutely true. We are creating very cost-effective housing units. You see, and essentially, listen, I know they're all studios. When I hear people say, "Oh, we're going to take 1 studio and 2 studios, we're going to knock down the wall and make a 1-bedroom," I know these people don't know what they're talking about. Don't do it. Keep them as 2 studios. Oh, but Charlie, studios. And no. Right now, the demand for studio-like apartments is huge. They're not building them anymore. And the fact is that the fastest growing demographic in our society are single head of households, and they have no place to live that's affordable. See, any of this million new starts in apartments over the last 12 months, those are all Class A 1 and 2 bedroom properties and a few studios. So the people who are the fastest growing group, they're finding that they don't have homes to live in anymore. It's really, really tough. So I'll tell you, this is a huge problem, but it's a huge opportunity as well. New York City became a prime example with 733 apartments carved out of old hotels. Manhattan holds 5.8% of all converted apartments in the U.S. However, a single building at 525 Lexington Avenue yielded 655 of those 733 apartments, all for students. Then they go on to say that hotel conversions were also active in 2 Florida cities, Hialeah and Ruskin, as well as in Richmond, Virginia, Sterling Heights, Michigan, Richland, Washington, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, and Overland Park, Kansas. Overland Park. I own a hotel in Overland Park. I called my partner, David Peters, and I said, "Hey, David, are they talking about us in this thing?" He goes, "Well, actually, Overland Park has 3 hotel conversions going on. That's how good of an area it is." And the thing is, you end up owning a multifamily property that didn't exist until you came along. Now, think about the competition in finding that property and converting it compared to throwing in letters of intent on a multifamily deal. There are just so many people out there just throwing in offers on existing properties. What if you found one and converted it? Now you're the belle of the ball. I mean, if you take a look at this property that we're doing in Louisville, we're buying it at about a 15 cap, and we plan on trading it at about a 6 or 6.5 cap. Do the math, folks. That's a huge killing. I mean, we'll make millions on this deal in very short order. All right. Now, in 2023, 3,500 apartments emerged from office buildings, making up 28% of all conversions. 13 of them involved Class A and 12 were Class B offices. The 2023 conversion in Peachtree Corners in Atlanta offers an example. Thoroughly modernized and updated, the project consisted of 295 apartments with a fitness center, saltwater pool, and a club room, as well as a second floor offering private offices, conference rooms, and co-working space. And Milwaukee and Indianapolis also made significant strides in office to apartment conversions as did a couple other big cities. I will not read off the list. Get ready for more than 58,000 future apartments from former office buildings. That's a whopping 38% of all upcoming conversions. Outdated factories were also part of the 1,954 apartments that were converted. Conversions of all types have not reached the peaks seen in 2016 and 2017, but that could be about to change. The top 10 cities of the future, according to Rent Cafe, are LA, Manhattan, Chicago, Philadelphia, DC, Dallas, Cleveland, Baltimore, Detroit, and Kansas City, Missouri. Oh, I like that. That's a good idea. Kansas City's good little city. So there you have it. If you want to find out about how to do hotel conversions, David and I are actually putting on a conference. We haven't even advertised yet. I just met with our person who's putting it together for us. It's going to be in Tampa, Florida in September. Keep your eyes peeled. If you don't have, if you are not on my website yet, go to multifamilyos.com. So that you can sign on up and you can make sure that you'll see this. Seating is limited. It really is. And when I say it, it really is, because I'm not going to sit there like bring your cash in while we're slashing. No, it's going to be a absolutely phenomenal 2-day event. You can find out how you can partner with us on these deals. As we're these, the deal we're doing right now, we're doing with four to five other investors who joined our program back in last June, almost a year ago, June, in Chicago. We are, we're just going to start growing and growing and growing and buying more hotels and bringing our partners, our students into the deals with us. So if that's something you want to find out more about, keep your eyes peeled for our event coming up in Tampa in September. That's it. All right. That's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. 4:00 today, I'm speaking with all those partners because we've got 2 more hotels we're hopefully going to put under contract, and then more people are going to be jumping into those deals as well. That's how we do it with the Hotel to Homes cohort program. Want to find out more? Get me your information. I'll keep you on my mailing list. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks for coming.